You can show case details. So case details comes from case coordination when that case is created or that patient is scheduled. So here it's showing a quick snapshot of some of the key details about this case. So you can see the case schedule, the date and time, the duration, how long that procedure is estimated to last, what room they will be in, the location or the organization they're affiliated with, certain information about the procedure, and then of course, quick patient info. Now, of course, if you wanted to see more details about that case, you can do by navigating to HST case coordination. And this brings us to the third objective of this webinar, which is how we've streamlined the navigation between our products, especially because HST case coordination and HST patient engagement are linked to one another because one schedules cases and the other collects patient information or health history rather. If you need to see a certain case information about that patient, you would then select this Go to Case button. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm actually going to do it for this completed survey. So what this is doing is it's now navigating me to that specific case that I clicked on in HST case coordination. And you can tell that you're in HST case coordination because my URL link has changed to CC, and the colors are different. The case coordination is a blue color or a teal color rather. So here it brings you to viewing the details of that case. And so here you can view certain information if you have access to case coordination. The key thing about HST case coordination that's relevant to patient engagement is this pre-assessment tab. So pre-assessment tab is where you can see the answers that the patient has provided on their form. So here you can see all the questions that are on this form that the patient completed as well as the answers. Any asterisk you see here, that's a required question. So just to give you a quick example here. Flags, you can see that this response is set as a flag. As you further go down, you can see just a few examples there. If you notice that the patient had not answered all of the questions and you wanted to give them a phone call or they called in to provide more information and you wanted to log that here on the patient's form, what you can do is you can select this Edit Responses option. And that is going to bring up this Edit Pre-Assessment Responses pop-up. And now you can change or add information to this patient's form. You can change their responses, or you can add or answer questions that were unanswered. Of course, you can do that throughout the entire form. And then, of course, to save the changes, you would select Done. If you did not want to make any changes, you could, or if you didn't want to save the changes you've made, you can click the Cancel button, and that would close out the pop-up, and any changes that you did make would not be saved. If the patient calls over the phone, you can set up, and this is what we will review in a separate live webinar with the texting portion, is how to set up your text messages, which is ultimately how patients will receive the link to complete their form, the survey link. But if a patient called in or is at the facility and wants to complete their form that way, they can do, and you can give them the link to that either via your computer or if you supply tablets at your facility for patients to fill out the form. All you would need to do is just go log into patient engagement as I've done, select that Go to Case button, navigate to pre-assessments here, and then you would want to copy the link. And here case coordination is showing that the survey link has been copied. So what you can do is open up your browser and paste that link into your browser window, hit enter, and now you can see you are filling out the form as the patient. This is exactly the view the patient sees when they click the link in the text message or if they receive the link via email. And so now you can either hand over the tablet to the patient and have them fill out the form this way. They would scroll through. I'm going to scroll through here, and then ultimately they would select the Done button. Again, you can also manually text or email that link to the patient if they are there at the facility and prefer to do it on their phone maybe. They have that option available as well. You also have the option to print the survey here as well. You can also add case notes or notes. So if you've spoken to the patient and you want to log that information, you can add that here. Any documents you want to upload, of course. So there is an option in patient engagement, I'll show you shortly, that you can upload the pre-assessment form to the case in case coordination. And so this is where that document would appear. So those are the key features, actions that you would want to do in case coordination when it's concerned with a patient filling out their form. So now going back to our navigation, I would need to go back to patient engagement now, then maybe move on to the next patient. So you would hover over on the left-hand side where our quick side navigation panel is, and you would click on HST patient engagement. You could also hit your browser back button as well, and that would take you back if the last page you had been to was patient engagement. You also have that browser back button to click on as well. I'm going to go back and click on pre-assessments, and then I'm going to move on to the next patient, just to show you the workflow. But the other piece I wanted to show, which I had just mentioned about adding the documents to the case in HST case coordination, is the ability to export. So if I click on export, now it shows me I have two options in ways that I can export this patient survey. So I can either attach a PDF to the case, which is exactly what I just showed you in case coordination. So this is attaching that patient's form to the case, the corresponding case in HST case coordination. And then secondly, my other option is I can actually just print the form and save it and download it to my computer and save it that way, especially if the patient wants a copy of the form. This is a great way you can do that as well.